Things might get weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to our life.
Jack broke a light bulb,
You're such a
the Boob Light
wiener.
cover, and somebody else broke our freaking Roadcaster mixer.
Welcome to the Hewlett podcast.
Just said I couldn't bitch, so I hurried, got it out. That's it. Now I'm done. Our
I
kids are
said-
expensive. Did we talk about that already? Oh, yeah. Yesterday, in the last episode we did.
I said nobody's going to want to listen if all they do
Hey,
is
hopefully you can
freaking-
relate with us. The kids break everything. I personally put a small dent in the wall yesterday on accident with the laundry basket, but you could paint it. It was fine.
All of it was accidents. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
You know what? It's going to be fine.
Yep.
It's
just
going to be
stuff.
fine. It's just stuff. We can't take this with us to the next life.
Nope.
But I can yell at my kids and I can feel better about it later. I'm going to take it out on them later.
No, that's the thing is that you yell and then you don't feel better later. You feel worse later. It's like what we talked
in
about
the moment,
last
I
time.
feel pretty good.
That's what. Listen,
in the moment, I feel pretty good about it.
last time we talked about this. The dopamine comes in the moment.
Oh, yeah. It feels good to yell.
But then.
Explain to me why swearing feels good then. Why do I feel better after I let out a curse word?
Well, that's a different kind of release.
Prove it.
Okay. I mean, maybe it's close to the same, but like.
Can you see me?
It's a thing.
Hey, you're
apparently.
doing great today. By the way, your food was delicious tonight. Thanks for a good dinner. I mean, it was a lot of carbs, and I loaded up.
You're welcome.
So, thank you.
It's so that you have carb load for your run. Didn't you tell me you were doing a long run tomorrow?
Nope. No, I did not.
Dang.
No, I didn't. But I will run.
That's what I had in my head. So I was like, oh, he needs carbs. He needs carb load.
You're a liar.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you are.
I've been on a sourdough kick.
Yeah, it's delicious.
You're welcome.
I just got rid of the garlic taste in my mouth.
I made garlic knots out of sourdough bread.
They were good.
I got the starter. Hayden went to work the other day, and he texts me, and he's like, this bread
Yeah,
is so good.
it was so good.
And I thought to myself, I did sourdough one time.
You freaking did
I
it.
could probably do that.
You don't even give a care. You were just doing it.
And I was like, ask him if they'll, because it was your buddy from work.
Yep. Shout out.
His wife brought it all in. I was like, ask her if like she wants to share some start with me, because a good start.
Her start was legit.
Yeah. So I was like, does she want to? And they were so cute. She brought it in fed and everything.
Yeah,
So
she's
cute.
awesome.
Like I should have known, but there was a ton.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Gwen. She's done. Did she just go potty and now she's done?
Hey, we're podcasting here. Did you play in here with Aaliyah today? Did you play in here with Aaliyah today?
Are you fibbing? Yeah, right. What are you doing?
It's locked.
Oh, we locked
Okay.
you out. Sorry.
We'll
she
talk
didn't go
to you
to the
later.
bathroom.
Love
That's good.
you.
We have children. If we didn't mention it, there's a lot of them. There's only 4, but it feels like 400 sometimes. It's crazy. And only 3 are home right now. You know what I'm so excited about this weekend, though? And this is going to come out after. I'm going to Newport, California. I fly into LAX on Thursday morning, having a bro weekend with Uncle Timmy's.
Shout out Uncle Timmy's.
Excuse me.
Did you get it?
I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, I was going to text him and say, hey, Dad, what are we doing this weekend?
That's like the running joke.
I don't even give
Is
a
that
care.
he's your dad.
Oh, yeah, that was our joke.
You just forgot that?
Yeah, I forgot that.
Okay.
Hey, Dad. I call him Dad. I was calling Johnny Dad in Vegas. I'm like, hey, Dad, what are we doing later? What's next? What's the plans, Dad?
Yeah, it's his territory. He's got to plan it.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, here's a light for you.
Cute.
I was
So
trying to look
anyway-
at the Thunderbolt cable there. Weird.
So anyway, so he got the start, and I just have been experimenting ever since.
She had someone come teach a class, he said.
Oh.
And they showed him how to make it and
That would have been
the
helpful.
tricks, right?
That would have been helpful for
So
me.
the start.
I looked on Google. I Googled it.
You did some YouTubing.
YouTubed, I Pinterest, but having somebody show me probably would have been faster. But I did learn a couple new things this round that make it so much less stressful. So I feel like it's doable.
Totes.
Anyway, I made how many batches? Probably.
I don't know. A lot.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I made a regular
5,
one, a jalapeno cheese one, garlic knots
6
tonight.
different things.
Holy moly!
Yep, I did
Starting
those.
Friday.
When did you bring it?
I think you made them Thursday or Friday.
Sure.
I think I've eaten more bread in the last 4 days than I've eaten
we
in a
had to
minute.
experiment.
I'm trying to just do some lean out for summertime.
Just working on my girlish figure.
Don't embarrass us.
Anyway, but
My figure
speaking
looks
of
more and more
embarrassing.
girlish as I eat your bread.
Speaking of embarrassing,
Yes.
what happened to your phone the other day?
Nothing. I dropped my phone in the toilet.
Did you get it?
Luckily.
Did you get it?
Let's just say this. I'll save the graphic details for you. And they were graphic. They are graphic. I dropped that damn thing right in the toilet.
Was it on purpose or was it on accident?
Post flush.
Oh, good job.
Fortunately. What did you just ask me?
Was it on purpose or was it on an accident? That's what Gwenny says. On an accident.
On an accident. Askidents.
Askidents. That's what she says.
Is askident. When she bit Taft the other day, she said, it was askident.
Yeah, you just
And he bit her back, so she was crying. It was askident. She was really
accidentally
cute.
freaking
I'm like,
just take a chunk out of his arm.
He has teeth marks in his arm, Gwenny.
So,
You don't bite people,
But
please.
did you drop it on purpose or on accident?
On accident.
Accidents happen, babe.
I wiped it down immediately. I even rinsed it off in the sink. Got my Clorox wipes out. Cleaned it off.
Though, dude. It's in there.
Yeah, there's probably a little
Fecal matter
in that phone of mine. Smell it.
A fecal phone?
Smell it.
I'm good.
I think I got a new case since I did that, actually, because my other one was falling apart. So that's good news.
When did you go get another case?
Also, put $100 in your phone case for a rainy day.
And everybody's going to come freaking...
Yep, there's $100 behind my phone.
We had a friend that said one time, this is your, what did he call it? Emergency fund money.
Yep.
And so we put $100 back there.
Yep.
And unless it's an absolute emergency, you don't use it. I've actually even forgot.
I forget that I have it in there, too.
All the time.
Yep.
I forget.
But I did use it one time, and then I refilled.
Replenished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it, like, an emergency enough that I probably would have needed to use it. So,
yeah. You never know when you're going to need $100,
never
guys
know.
And girls.
You never know. Like, you're stranded and your card doesn't work for what? For
It could be any emergency you need money for. That
your
cash
Uber.
dollars.
Your Uber just doesn't work.
Yep. There you go.
I don't know.
Give your Uber guy $100. Do you have change, sir?
Ah,
Yep.
that's probably what happens.
Yeah, I dropped my phone in the toilet. It was fun. I hate that so
accident.
much. And then I think I almost did it again the other day.
What are you doing that you're dropping
Social
it in
media
the toilet?
happens in the bathroom. And if
Hey.
you, listen, for everybody, if you don't social media on the toilet, I want to know. We should do a poll here
Do
and
a
see
poll. Maddie,
who doesn't use their phone in the bathroom. I can't go to the bathroom without it. 20 years ago, it was the Game Boy and maybe
I remember like my parents
comic
having
book.
like magazine buckets
yeah,
in every bathroom. I'm all, what are we doing here?
the Friend.
Like
and
what? Yeah, for sure. For sure the friend was in there. Enzyme.
the
Whole
Enzyme.
thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I've ever sat that long
My legs fell asleep the other day.
because you were still in the process of going to the bathroom.
I was just like, oh,
or
my legs
because-
are asleep. I should
because
probably
you
get
got
out of here.
distracted. Like, were you
Yeah.
done or were you distracted?
I was probably just chilling, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my legs were sleeping.
That's
Sometimes the bathroom
problem.
when you have a lot of children,
Depends on if you're mom or dad.
it's the only quiet place in his house. And my blood boils so fast when they start knocking on the door.
Oh.
Like, are you get out? What is this?
Oh.
I'll freaking check him, dude. Chest bump him, push him down. Get out of here. After I get out of the bathroom. of course.
Obvi.
Yeah, I'm not like, you know.
Weird. Don't make it weird.
Hey, you don't make it weird.
Stare me in the eyes.
Anyway, this one's a mess. Sorry, guys. Yeah. But we're surviving and things are good. Again, did I mention I'm going to California this weekend?
That'll be so
it's
fun
gonna be
for
so
you.
fun.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was
it's
showing
chaos
Maddie
again when I get back, so I'm gonna
No,
go
I was
enjoy
showing
this
Maddie.
weekend.
I'm like, funny how packed my weekends are. The days or the weekends that Dad goes out of town.
What do you have this weekend?
Oh, Jack's got his football stuff.
Where's that at?
And at the school.
Oh, that's nice. The whole tournament's at the school?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it's Friday and Saturday.
Oh, good.
And then
You'll love it.
yeah. Anyway, just
Okay.
all the things.
Sad I'm missing that.
I know.
Little Jackie boy.
They did the draft for his age group, and what did he say?
He's going to play quarterback. He was the first drafted on his team.
Yep.
He joined his little charter school football team, and some good guys there. Be good for him.
So he's going to be starting
He's got a good arm.
quarterback. He's excited.
He throws the ball really well.
Good. Accuracy.
I'm pretty sure he's quite a bit bigger than I was at his age.
Really?
I think so.
Well, he's been working on it lately.
I remind him that I'll beat his ass, like, easily. Just, there's got to be an alpha in the house. It may as well be me. I can beat up little kids. It's awesome.
Please don't send CPS after us. I promise you. We were actually at the table talking about this.
He takes it well.
Maddie's like, can we record some of these conversations we had? I said, as long as you record me being like, no, this is not happening. No.
Yeah.
People probably, the way that you talk, think that we abuse children. I promise we don't. Hayden just gets angry eyes sometimes.
Right. I don't raise my voice.
Let's talk about nice things, babe.
All right, go ahead.
So we're talking about certain things we could update on, and we were talking about how you get your Jordan Peterson blips.
Yeah.
Is it daily, weekly?
Every Monday. It's called Mondays of Meaning, and he sends out an email with a quick little message in it. And I was talking to a friend the other day about like church stuff and everything, and he goes and was asking me questions kind of why I don't go, and he's awesome. I think some people try to talk to me like they're trying to reconvert me, and I'm just like, I'm good right now,
Yeah.
It's all well intentioned. But I told him, I'm like, we still will do like a little family night or family message, and we're not super consistent, but I don't know that we have ever been like crazy consistent. We've been off and on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we do try to have like a family discussion and have a good chat, and occasionally
On spiritual topics.
Yeah. And I feel like about once a month, Jordan Peterson will have one where I'm like, my kids should hear this. This is a great topic, And the one actually, I think it goes with the topic you wanted to discuss today, which was kind of ironic, don't you think?
Ironic.
I won.
Don't you think? You get, yeah.
It's
like,
one,
Ray.
Stop it.
Kidding.
Stop it. This is not the time.
I totally waited for you to start talking. Did you watch me?
Yeah, that was good. Good
Okay,
work.
keep going.
So I'll just read the first little guy here, little paragraph guy. Advice. I think that's how all his things go. That's how his emails go.
He always says advice.
He has like a little blurb before. This is what we're talking about. And then be your authentic self is what it says. Most of what you think and say, this is kind of interesting, are the opinions of other people. What you have read or what people have told you. In some ways, that is beneficial because you retain thoughts that other people have spent a long time formulating. But it is a disadvantage in that they are not exactly yours. If you detach yourself so that you are no longer your thoughts or what you say, or maybe you are no longer all of them, then you can find out which of the thoughts you think and things you say are actually you. Maybe you will find that you cannot utilize the rest, or maybe you can correct the rest because they are not representative of you as an integrated being. And it's interesting because I think a lot of people that go through, I don't know, different challenges in life in general, but for me, it was like the whole faith thing and midlife crisis-y stuff. And I actually talked to somebody that was like, don't call it a midlife crisis, call it, it's just like I'm gonna butcher it. But anyway, there's just times in our lives when things get hard, right? Or maybe it happens in the middle of your life and you're like, oh, what am I doing? But I think with the whole faith thing is you kind of backtrack a little bit and go, holy crap, who am I?
Yep.
I thought I was this person. Am I really? And it's almost like I became a kid again and did this whole cycle of like being a teenager and re-asking questions and just like re-growing up. It was almost just like this test phase of who am I, And then over time you kind of realize like, oh, the same person with the same values, and I changed my perspective on a couple things that, you know, I can have a coffee now and not feel like I'm going to hell and need to talk to the bishop, but which is great, and I like it. It's good.
So
but what's cool is I've been thinking a lot about this actually lately. Even today, it's kind of like if you want to know something for real, you have to be able to detach, and it's super hard because we all have our biases and everything, but you have to be able to detach and ask questions, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like that scripture that is in the Bible that Joseph Smith read, like, you can ask God anything, and he upbraideth not. He's not going to get mad at you for asking a sincere question.
Yeah.
And I think that is how we discover. We have to be able to talk about anything and everything and ask questions and seek, and ye shall find. And it's almost like that's a scripture.
What?
I'm not even sure, but
I'm not sure, but that
call me
seems
inspired.
Right. Actually, you made that up.
It's really hard because we do get the opinions of other people, whether it's at school or in our church groups or at work or whatever. And it's almost like Ezra commented on a YouTube video recently, the one we did with the Gregories, and just talked about some of the culture is tough sometimes, and how he had I think it's a stepson that came home early from a mission, and how it was kind of hard for him and people feeling judged and everything. And my comment back was just like, dude, I don't pretend to know anything, and I don't want to even sound preachy on there because I love the discussion, and I love the philosophy and Jesus and what he taught and what he did. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I love, who's the singer that Jelly Roll he was on Andrew Schultz's podcast. Like the last 20 minutes of that are gold. And not that I see it this way, but he kind of made the joke that like the first miracle Jesus ever did was a party favor.
That's true.
He turned water into wine, and his mom asked him, hey, turn this water into wine.
It's a party favor.
It's kind of a joke, right? Yeah. But in like LDS culture, it's like, well, you know, the wine didn't have alcohol in it. It's like, who gives a shit? And who cares if it's wine? They didn't call it grape juice. Who cares? Why do you have to justify what Christ did? He didn't sin. He's good. And then I said the other thing he did was, and this is kind of a Jelly Roll portion of that podcast too, but he hung out and forgave all the adulterers and all the sinners and saved people. Anybody that wanted to come to him, he saved and helped and loved. Yeah. And we've gone from dropping my phone in the toilet to this now, just so we're clear. This is the same episode.
This is how we roll. Welcome to the Hewlett house.
Welcome to this house. and I think that's awesome.
Yes.
We need to just be Uchtdorf said it. Don't judge me because I sin differently than you. And just because my vices or my issues are different than yours, I think I've been there where we kind of judge people based on, well, I didn't do that, but so I can feel better about what I'm doing. And it's almost a subconscious thing. You don't even realize that you're doing it.
I do it literally every day, probably.
You do?
Probably.
Stop that. Stop it.
You know.
Live and let live, dude.
No,
love.
I think,
we're not.
but
the
that's
beautiful
the thing,
part about life.
that's what I was saying.
We don't have to. We're not supposed to judge, and we don't even have to.
Yeah, but
it's wonderful.
That's where you are at, right? You have gotten over the judgment of the coffee, and actually, sometimes you actually bring it up. You're like, "Oh, do you want me to put the coffee maker away?" And I'm like, "I literally don't care," because to me,
it used to bug you a little, the smell or something.
Yeah, I didn't like the smell, but it wasn't about other people's perspective of what that meant, right? It didn't have anything to do with that.
That's true.
It was just,
that surprised me a little.
Yeah, I don't care, because to me, I'm like, you don't go to church. That's not your value anymore. Like you don't have that standard anymore. Does that make sense?
I value Jesus.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but
God,
that's exactly what
power. Yeah.
But the coffee is just an LDS culture thing. I mean, I don't know, whatever. What do you call it? Bound or guideline? Guideline.
I would call it that, but it more.
Okay.
It's the word of wisdom. Don't drink coffee. Don't drink alcohol. And honestly, most of it's pretty good.
For sure. Like if we followed it for sure, like to a T, if everybody followed it the way that it was written, we would all be so much healthier. I guarantee it. But anyway, so to me, I let it go because I'm like, there's no judgment there because that's not your belief anymore. So
yeah.
there's no, it would be like me judging somebody that never even learned about the gospel, right? Just because, or learned about the LDS church, because it's not their standard. It doesn't, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not their standard, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They don't need to be held to a certain standard. And guess what? It doesn't matter anyway. Even if they are part of the LDS culture, that's a them thing, right?
Yeah.
I was looking through my notes on my phone, and I was wanting to talk about validation on here. And where are we seeking our validation from?
Yeah.
And it kind of, I don't know, it made me start thinking of stuff like that, right? We're constantly being bombarded with, especially social media, right? And I find even myself being like, oh, are they wearing their garments? Like, oh, they said that they were LDS, right? But are they wearing, you know what I mean? And I think that...
You're worried about what people's underwear they have.
Yeah, isn't it so
think
weird?
About this, yeah.
No. But
I really think about that. That's funny.
I've actually been a whole lot better lately, but like,
Yeah.
but I remember going through that, right? And thinking about it, and then also being worried about, like, I don't wear mine to the gym, right?
How dare
Or
you.
having, having people judge you on that too, right?
Yeah.
So, but why am I seeking validation from Joe Schmo when really it's no, this is a thing that between me and our Heavenly Father. This is not a me and Joe Schmo issue. So
I heard this quote by Aaron Rodgers recently that was like, sorry if I shared this before and I'm going to butcher it too, but it was along the lines of, why would you care what somebody thinks if you would never take their advice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We care so much about the dumbest shit. So so way too much.
Yeah, and I think that I've learned to let it go more with you stepping away because, or I don't even know letting it go more, but it's been more apparent to me like, oh, okay, these underlying judgments that I didn't think were a thing maybe were. Like we talked about this at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just let that go, but like you said, we're constantly being bombarded with information, and so we don't even know our own thoughts anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so where are we learning what's right and what's wrong? And are those our thoughts? Are those our feelings? Are we validating other people instead of ourselves and our relationship with our Heavenly Father and what we've decided with Him are the right things for us and for our family even, right? So anyway, I was trying to think of like, okay, me specifically, I asked myself, where am I seeking validation from? Or who am I seeking it from? And why them? Like, why would I seek validation from people on the internet or even the neighbor, right? Who should I be seeking validation from? Who do you think we should be seeking validation from?
Jesus.
Yeah, and even, and
Is that the
ourselves.
answer?
That was really good.
Thanks.
Did you raise your hand? Actually, I didn't even call on you. No, I feel like we're in freaking primary class here.
Yeah, this really took a turn down. Well, I feel like I'm in Sunday school. It's been a while.
I thought about it too,
you?
and I was like, you know what? There's like so much freedom in letting people down. Because then you're letting go of feeling the judgment or feeling if you're trying to find validation through them.
Yeah. There's a lot here. You have covered so much right here.
How much more would you, I know, I'm trying to be.
Can I just share one?
How much better would you feel inside if you were not worried about others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honestly, we need to ask how we really feel about it. And if we feel good about it, why do you feel like we ask yourself damn questions, self-discover, become self-aware, I'm talking to me here.
And if you are religious, pray about it, right?
Sure.
And help seek
if that helps
that way,
you,
or what?
Absolutely.
However, meditation to help you understand and go
Put your
inward.
phone away and think in quietness for just a minute and see how you feel about it. And then I was talking to a family member recently about some of this stuff, but it's like, dude, do you like how do I not, how do I not, how do I avoid?
Call them out?
Yeah. But, well, that'll tangent too much. I'll just say this, like, how do you really feel about it? And if you don't feel good about it, why?
Yeah.
And is it because someone told you not to do that? Or is it because you genuinely doesn't make you feel good inside?
Yeah, I'll just keep
And I've been listening
why.
to stuff today even that was talking about, like, follow your intuition. And it can take a long time to learn and trust that. But it's conversations we've had with our kids, like, trust your intuition. If you don't feel good about something, don't do it. If you have a weird feeling about it, trust that.
Yeah.
Like, I think we have those for a reason. Call it the spirit, call it energy, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to be all inclusive here for all my spiritual friends.
Yeah.
But follow that. And I think so often we don't follow those feelings that we have. And I think some things are okay and some things aren't. And some it might be in the right timing and it might not be. And you're the only one that can really judge that.
Right.
When I said Jesus, I was kind of being a smartass, but maybe that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think there's do no harm. And I think that's what Christ really wants.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing any harm, genuinely not doing any harm, does it really matter? And then if so, why? You know, ask yourself, do some discovery. Yeah. And it's okay. Ask the questions. God wants you to. He wants you to learn who you are and why you are.
Well, and I think that
you are.
That's.
I think
we can ask a question, but then we need to continue asking. Is as annoying as it is, like the little kids say, but why? But why? But why? So I listened to this lady. She's a therapist, and she goes through with people. Okay, this is your situation.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel? It makes me feel like this because, and then they expand a little bit more. Okay, because, and then she just keeps saying, okay, and then this because, and then this because, until they really can get to the root of what it is. So I think sometimes we just ask why one time.
Yeah.
When really it is a deeper issue. So like you said, why do you feel good or bad about it? It feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. Why does it feel good? Is it because you learned it in a setting, you know?
Are you seeking validation? Are you seeking?
Yeah. Like with coffee, does it feel good or bad? It felt bad, right? Why? Because that's your core belief, or is that because that's what you were taught? You know what I mean? And then just keep digging, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Theo Vaughn talked about that on that episode where he was talking about trauma.
Yeah.
And how he, like, a lot of these comedians will actually talk about some of the same stuff, but he mentioned that, I think we talked about how he would go to his friend's house just because his mom would look at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I just wanted my mom to see me.
Yeah.
You know? And he didn't even blame his mom. He's like, she was going through her own stuff and trying to figure things out and doing the best that she could.
Yeah. And
he's like, I'm not trying, that's when he was like, I'm not trying to self-pity or anything. I'm just, and I don't blame her. You can tell he has a good relationship with her now. Sorry, am I banging the cord? Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, folks. But he's like, I think I just wanted her to see me. Yeah. And so then you go through all this stuff and you realize, like, oh, I've made it. For him, he's made it. And he's still not feeling fulfilled.
Like so many, like the whole world sees him.
Yeah.
But he's still like, does my mom
or his
see
mom.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, even Gwenny the other day. So I've really been trying to, like I've talked about. Are you good?
How many cords do we have in this place?
I keep talking about how I want to unplug more, especially around the children, and be more present. And honestly, I can get so much more done.
Is it worth it?
So much more.
Oh.
When I'm unplugged. And I feel like I'm more connected. And there's still
when you say unplugged, what do you mean exactly? Headphones?
My headphones are out. So I'll still like have music playing in the background, but I'm not listening to something constantly. I even notice
you can listen to your own thoughts for a minute.
Oh my gosh, it's
good
so
for you.
Crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Well, because like I said, even like my meditations are guided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're being told what to think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I feel way more calm because I'm not constantly having to stop my stuff and answer questions, or I feel like there's more interaction with the kids. Even some of the kids have been wearing their headphones more.
Yeah.
And it's driving me nuts because they can never hear me. And I'm like, excuse you.
Yeah, I think I
I'm
yelled
calling you.
I think I yelled at
And
one of
they're
them
like,
yesterday for it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm all, that was me, though.
Yeah.
They probably learned that from me. Like, I just had them in all the time. And they even called me out. I'm like, okay, when we're around, can we just keep our headphones out? And they're like, well, you have yours in all the time. And I'm like, I've actually been trying to be really good about not having it in.
It's been 48 hours, and I have barely worn them. Is that what you said?
No.
I'm just teasing.
No, I've been trying for a couple weeks. So, but
Good job.
It does, I don't know. It feels lots better. And we can listen to our own thoughts and our own feelings and look inward and think for ourselves.
Think for yourself. If there's anything you took from today, think for yourself.
Yeah. Figure out where you're trying to seek validation from. I really think that that's huge.
I love this topic.
Thanks.
You did so good today. By the way, I was thinking about like the word was like smoking and drinking and stuff. So as a kid, my dad has told me the story because earlier we were talking about Gwen and the funny stuff she's been saying lately around people.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super uncomfortable for us, but it's really funny. My dad said he and I were, when we lived in Arizona, and we were walking out of a gas station to go get in the car, and there was this big biker dude having a cigarette. And I guess I just was like, Dad, we don't do that, huh? Smoking's bad, huh?
Yeah.
I called him out. My dad's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
shut the heck up. And the guy kind of looked at my dad and said, I don't know if he asked how old I was or whatever, but he goes, you're raised on a good boy there, you know? And he was like, oh, thank you, sir. Well, we're going to go now.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, big old freaking dude. And what did Gwen say? Oh, Maddie was telling us that you guys were at the store the other day, and she's like, Maddie, so Maddie's 16, and there was some 12-year-old boy there. It was like the brother of one of her friends or something, and and Gwen goes, Maddie, that's your boyfriend. I know it is. Maddie, I know that's your boyfriend, right?
Like so loud. She's not
and
quiet.
Yeah, at all. and Maddie's like, Gwen, no. She's a lot younger than me.
We were going on a walk. I took him, we went on a walk on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We walked by this guy, and he was so nice. We said hi. We're like 2 steps past him. Mom, I don't know what happened to his leg. Like so loud. He had a prosthetic leg. I don't know what happened to his leg, and I'm all, I don't either. Let's keep walking.
Was this new one pretty dope?
Looked pretty cool to me.
Was it one you could like run in and stuff?
I don't know. He may just have gotten it.
With the hydraulics and everything, where you can like hop and.
I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't look that hard. I was looking at his eyes, so he didn't make it weird. Howdy, sir.
Thank you for not
looking at his
taking offense to our 4-year-old daughter's comments.
Well, he might have.
Or questions.
Anyway, back on track though.
Yeah, on track now.
Another thing I was thinking about with like, if we are seeking others' validation and not listening and understanding others' perspectives.
Yeah.
It like kind of shuts us off to growth. Like I think learning and understanding what other people think and feel too is helping aid us in asking the questions. Oh, how does that feel? Does that feel good or bad? But taking out the judgment with it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So making it just kind of, oh, I never thought of that as being a possibility.
Yeah. Detach.
Yeah. And just kind of fill it out and be
ask.
like, oh, does that seem good? Does that seem bad? And again, inward and upward, if that's your direction.
Yeah. I think when we're raised, right, especially in the culture we were raised in, it's kind of like, these are the rules, follow them. This is your checklist. Do this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot
and those
of it's
are the
so
right things.
Good.
And not doing that is the wrong thing.
Yeah. I think the culture of it actually is what kind of screws it all up and screws us up and everything. But yeah, if you just have, and I've noticed my friends have a lot healthier relationship with the church that just kind of thought for themselves and just said, no, that doesn't really resonate. I'm okay here to not really care that much about this, you know?
Yeah. Well, because.
But you're taught like exact obedience and exactness.
Yeah.
And
So
blah, blah,
you're
blah.
feeling like
imperfection
slighted because you're like, I was taught this like so strictly
that
I didn't think for myself
at all.
And so now I'm feeling resentful that I didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, there's probably been some of that. Yeah.
So anyway.
Or if I didn't do it, it was just to rebel and just be like, just freaking leave me alone for a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Do my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole journey of it, like growth is great.
Yeah, so I think it is important for us to like listen to other people's opinions and thoughts and views so that we have the plethora of knowledge so that we understand various, what's the word? I keep like wanting to say this word, but I can't. Anyway, the more you know, the more you know.
Jordan Peterson actually says you can tell when you are saying something authentic, or can I read this? This actually kind of answers your question or what you were talking about. You can tell when you are saying something that is not authentic by sensing whether it makes you weak or strong.
Say that one more time.
You can tell when you are saying something that is not authentic by sensing whether it makes you weak or strong. Maybe you are saying things to impress someone or remain part of a political or social group, or perhaps you have personal attributes that you are ashamed of, so you are not going to speak about them. In those instances, there is a falseness about your self-representation. I think the effect of feeling weak is an autonomic. How do you say that?
Autonomic? Autonomy? So autonomic?
Autonomic?
Okay, sure.
Holy hell.
Let us know.
I can't read. That's a hard word. Autonomic phenomenon.
That's a hard one.
As though you have just stepped off solid ground and onto something that does not support you well. It feels like self-betrayal. So make a rule that if you start to say something and it makes you feel weak, you will stop talking. Then find some words that you can say that do not produce that sensation. And journal and write and think, you know? That's some of the biggest messages I feel like I've been getting lately is like that we keep talking about. But there's been some cool stuff lately as I've dug into some rabbit holes and learned a few things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it just leads to a lot more questions and stuff, but a lot of it's really cool and resonates really deeply and is really, really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the key is like just be you.
Yeah. And I feel like you and I have both with each other been able to get, you mentioned growth. I feel like our relationship has grown through all this.
Yeah.
You've grown, I've grown, we've grown together. Our marriage and family life isn't perfect by any means, but we've learned how to like deal with hard shit, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, at least what we've dealt with in 17 and a half years. I know how long we've been married now. You know what I'm saying? 17 years and 5 months almost. How about that?
Wait.
Almost 5 months. December 20th.
Oh, yeah. Like in a couple days, you mean?
A week. Actually, a week from today.
Oh, my gosh. Happy almost 17 years
Stop
and
it.
5 months.
Stop it. Yeah. Is there anything else?
I love you.
I love you too, but hold on.
Oh, my. That's everything.
I think there is freedom in letting people down when you realize that you're doing it for the right reasons. I don't want to let certain people down for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but then
But I get what you mean.
Let's go. Then you can let go.
For sure.
So
yeah,
if you're
don't pretend to be somebody else to seek the validation, because then you're not being authentic, like Jordan Peterson is saying. Yeah. And if that lets somebody down, but because you're being yourself, it's like the people that quit drinking and their friends stop inviting them to hang out, they drink, but it is because you don't drink anymore. You know? And so there's almost like this respect thing. I heard this on a reel recently.
Okay.
But it's a respect thing too, that they're not asking you to hang out, but you might need to find a new group of friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they may feel like you're letting them down, but you're like, if your soul is yelling at you to stop doing something that you should stop doing, then listen to that.
Yeah, and I think that like we go through hard things, and it's like a refiner's fire, right? Like they say, we're going through it to progress.
Yeah.
If you're being true to who you are, there's not going to be a bad outcome.
Yeah.
You only feel, I mean, bad things can always happen. Don't take it as that. But it will only, if you're just trying to be true to you and you're trying to be a better version of you,
Mm-hmm.
you will only gain happiness and peace and
growth, and you learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but I also love getting other people's perspectives because it gives me other angles to look at things. And,
for sure. But I think also, like he was saying,
being
is
open-minded and
not taking everything as 100% truth.
Right.
And being subjective about that.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Anyway, I love you.
I love you most.